Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for tarot scopes. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Aquarius. That's Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Rising for the month of January 2025. Yes, we have moved into a new universal year vibration. 2025 is a 9 year. 9 is about separating the wheat from the chaff, and so we will have plenty of opportunity to evaluate what has been harvested over the last 8 years. That 8 year period began in 2017, which corresponds to to the inauguration of the 45th president. From this point known on old 45 and maybe new 47, but maybe not. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to look at the astrology first, and then we will move to the tarot. So let's, oh, my hair is doing a weird thing. Okay, just noticed. You know, I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera, so I should check before I start. Okay. Well, very Aquarian of me, right? Like, I always kind of see Aquarius as like the nutty professor who is so smart but then forgets to comb their hair. So, and I'm not saying that's you guys. I'm not saying that. But in my mind, that genius professor that's just like so out there and his mind is so big, and then sometimes they forget, things like hair. That's all. All right. Let me share this with you. This will be the astrology. And yeah, so January starts the month with Mars moving retrograde in your opposite sign. I know that I'm talking before I'm showing you what I'm looking at, but all right, let's get to you. Um, Aquarius, there we go. Okay. So, Aquarius, I know, fixed Earth. Yes, you do know, don't you? These are where the planets are sitting in January. Of course, this is a hermit year vibration, and I think the symbol for this year will be the lantern. And what you light the lantern with is your knowledge and your wisdom. As I said, Mars starts the month in Leo, and then on the 6th of January moves into Cancer, where it stays for the rest of January, moving backwards. And then it will also spend the most of February moving backwards until the 23rd when it stations direct in Cancer at 17 degrees. But that is February, so we're not quite there yet. I'm just letting you know that the sort of that backward energy of Mars, that sort of retrospective energy of Mars, that's action around family and safety and security. There's a lot of that people are going to feel very unsafe, I think, and they're going to spend a lot of time trying to do things that are going to make them feel safe. So I think that's just true of all of us with that Mars retrograde in Cancer. Um, and for you, it's going to be in your house of health. So you have to be absolutely positively right on top of your health issues. If something seems awry, you need to get it checked as you can, or get it attended to. Don't ignore anything when it comes to your health, especially inflammatory processes, because that's what Mars inflames things. And so you might actually, because it's in Cancer, many of us even, but especially you might be having some GERD, ulcery stuff in your digestive system. So be careful of that. The sun starts the month in your 12th house, of course, in Capricorn, doesn't really come into your sense of self, the first house, until the 19th of January when the sun moves into your sign. Of course, Pluto's now in your sign for the next 19 years, so you can expect constant transformations. Sometimes they'll be quick, but most of the times they'll be slow. We have a new moon in Aquarius that actually happens at the end of the month. The first lunation we have this month is a full moon in Cancer. Again, that can be a time when the stomach acts up. But full moons bring an awareness, and it is awareness in the axis of health for you. So be very careful and be very conscious of that. The new moon happens in your first house. It's an opportunity to just like start new. It's almost like a rebirth energy. And, putting the energy into you. here. And then we have Venus, which starts the month in Aquarius, but quickly moves into Pisces, where it spends most of its time in that second house, the house of your values. Um, and of course, humanitarian and helping people is one of your greatest values. The nodes of the moon are changing this month on the 11th of January. The north node of the moon, the direction forward, the direction of our destiny has been in Aries, asking us to be our unique selves, to aspire to our the truest expression of who we are. And we've actually seen a lot of people doing that, showing us the true expression of who they are. And it's not always pleasant, but it's there. We're seeing things very clearly right now. And what's going to happen is the North Node is going to move into Pisces. And that's when things don't seem quite as clear, I think. But also, this is a time of healing, and it's happening in your second house. And it's going to be in Pisces for about what? I think the nodes are in a sign for like 18.6 months. So, say 19 months, where you'll be coming to heal your sense of your own value and your own worth, letting go of certain things. You know, Aquarius, there's always quite a bit of trauma associated with Aquarius as a sign because it is so different. Aquarius is like PTSD stuff. So, um, and a lot of times in Aquarius, there's a fracturing of the integrity of things. And so there needs to be a healing and a coming together of that. Your ruling planet Uranus still in your fourth house, shaking things up, shaking the family tree, as it were. Jupiter in your fifth house is expanding your expression. It is the house of expression. Jupiter expands, and Jupiter in Gemini often expands it in words. So Jupiter in Gemini is more of a word thing, but it can be an anything thing. It doesn't have to be. It's self-expression is self-expression. But if you happen to be a writer of some sort, this might be a very prolific time for you. All right, what else? What else? What else? I think that's the big deal, the biggie things happening for Aquarius this year. So this month. Let us take a look. We'll look at we'll do a tarot reading. Let me just stop the share here. Okay. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, I know what I want to use. I think this is very nice. Ah, yes, the Wild's Unknown. Very Aquarian in its nature, I think. We'll see how many lightning bolts we get in this one. Ah, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh dear, how does this go? Oh, that way. All right, let's make sure. Yep, okay, good. I'm gonna make sure I get all the cards out. Okay, they all kind of popped out at me. All right, let's see what's going on. What does Aquarius need to know for the month of January? First, we have the inauguration coming this month, I think. Maybe, perhaps, maybe not. I really feel like nothing is quite set yet. We have this new moon coming up at the end of this month. I'm doing this at the end of December. On the 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn, which I covered in my the last 2 weeks of December, the week ahead, the last 2 weeks of December, if you want to look and see what I said about it specifically, or you can just check on Moon Shadows, which I'll be doing after this with Ona on my channel, Victoria Skirbo, and I'll put that up a little bit later today. So you'll get a real sense of what this new moon could be about. All right. So let us cut the cards and see what we got. So we have the Emperor. Oh, no, do we? Yes, sorry. We have the Emperor here. The Emperor, this is somebody who has dominion. We do have an eclipse there, so that's always sort of an interesting card there, having that eclipse, that ring of fire up there. We are going to be having 2 eclipses in the spring and then 2 in the fall. The ones in the spring are North Node eclipses. North node eclipses. And so it's about moving into the unknown future. And everything changes, everything gets shifted around. The crossing the emperor is money, is old money. I think this really speaks to those people who have all the money or are in charge. Honestly, that's what it looks like. And of course, for Aquarius, that really doesn't vibe with the Aquarian ideal of humanitarianism, does it? And at the root of it is the devil, the greed, the greed, the greed. So I think that's something you see. Let's see what's in the past. The strength, been very strong. This was last year's vibration. So far I've picked the 4 cards and 3 of them have been major arcana. So you tell me if this is an important moment in your evolution. Yes, you don't have to tell me. I was kind of what is that called? A rhetorical question. In the sky, we have the Father of Swords. This is the person who holds the sword of truth and can mete out justice. So there is justice above. There is somebody watching. There is a sage, a wise sage, watching what's going on here. In a way, this reading feels very collective to me. And then we have justice in the immediate future. So, wow, Aquarius. Of course, Pluto's in Aquarius now, so this could even be a message from the soul. Justice sees what's going on and justice will be served. That's what this says. Okay. How it's seen from the outside, there's a rat in the pantry. Um, Domestic situation, the Father of Cups. So this is nurturance. This is somebody who cares about people and their family. And so they'll be nurturing in your it feels like the world is just like on fire, but you are okay and you are being taken care of. That's what it looks like. Hopes and fears. Hope, the hope of hope, hope of hopes. And the outcome? Ooh, the 10 of Cups. This is good. This is good. So let's see if there's any more coming after that. Ooh, the 10 of Swords. So 2 endings, 2 tens. Interesting. And the Lover's choice. The choice between perhaps happiness and destruction. The choice. The choice. I guess maybe this is speaking of the choice to what you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on the destruction and the bad news, or do you want to focus on the dream? Let's see what's underneath. We have the 3 of Wands. In this deck, this reminds me of a window into an alternate way of being, one that's much more imaginative, creative, free-flowing, as opposed to being in this side of reality where everything seems to be, everything is built to hold people in place instead of allow them to imagine. The 4 of Wands, this is about focusing on what you're building, what you're creating. The square, the 4 is always about stability and foundation, and fire is about creativity. So this is like you have the vision, but you also have the power to create that vision. And the 8 of Cups is about walking away from something that no longer, was it the 7 of Cups? Sorry, illusion, delusion. Illusion, delusion. It's the 7 of Cups. Things, this is like the upside down world where it's darkest, right? This the sun at the nadir, the moon at so it's lunar. It's unclear. Wow, these are pretty intense cards. Well, what I would say is any abuses of power, people will be held accountable. So that may apply to your life, and I'll just say it that way. Um, yeah, it's not being seen. It's being seen, and it will be taken care of, and it probably will be taken care of this month. Karma is coming down, in that way. Karma as in, not like not necessarily vengeful, but a balancing of the scales. All right, one more pull, and that's going to be the um, hold on, the Tree of Life Oracle. Let's see what card comes up for this. Well, we're definitely at the precipice of great change, with both all the outer planets, save for Pluto, changing signs. The social planets this year changing signs, not staying in the signs. Jupiter stays in Cancer once it's in, but Saturn steps into Aries for a little bit and then steps back out and goes into Pisces for like one last like power wash. And Neptune steps into Aries as well, but then moves back into Pisces. And then moves into Aries pretty much for good, along with Mars at the beginning of 2026, and not Mars, Saturn, and then they join together. All right, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Bina, understanding, Saturn. This is the place of the divine feminine, the goddess, the mother. The color of Bina is black. It symbolizes that all things gestate in the dark, that you need that dark time. As I'm doing this right now, we're kind of in the dark of the moon. And, it's about preparing for a new birth, preparing for the birth of a new way. I will read what Bina says. Bina is not an easy place to be, but for many of us, it's a very familiar place. Okay. Understanding, silence, awareness, and the divine feminine. Number 3 on the tree of life, Bina is located at the top of the pillar of severity, a place that offers her a view of the whole tree, where she sits not in judgment, but in understanding, seeing all. Saturn is her planet, the planet of form, of control, time, and karma. The main figure is a mature queen. Her role is to bring the worlds of energy into form, to give structure to the chaos, and to be the support for those seeking divine feminine wisdom. The feminine is rising, folks. And things will even out. It's a long journey between where we are and where we could be, or it could be a journey in the blink of an eye. It's a choice. It's always a choice here on planet Earth in this dual world that we live in. Choose well, my friends. Choose well. Have a great month. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you to my tried and true. I will be starting a membership on this channel in case you want to support me in that way. There'll be 2 tiers as it stands now. One will get mostly what, I'll still be doing a lot of things without having to be a member. So I'm not really going anywhere, but I'm just giving you a vehicle if you want to help support my work. The second tier will be a little more time with me and a little bit deeper dive into the kind of work that I do, looking at famous people, political figures, current events, all of that. That's all going to be part of the membership. You guys will get it first. It doesn't mean I'm not going to share it eventually with everybody, but you guys get the first look, certainly, and some things only you will get to see. So hopefully that's totally as unclear as I think it is. Take care, everyone. Have yourself a great month. I know it's what can you do? Well, you make the best, make the best, make the best, and you will have the best. Take care, everyone. Namaste.